So the last few things that I want to discuss is the Alegance upgrade and things that need to be addressed. Now, the upgrade to the Alegance Deluxe package, I feel personally, is most definitely worth it. Because you have your lounge as well as a pool and bar separately. And when I go, I find like last year, this year as well, much quieter. Again, this is in September, so it's much quieter. Sometimes you can have people in the lounge that you can have multiple people, but it's still pretty quiet. And you have access to your concierge, where you can book your a la cartes and your dinners and whatnot personally, and it's not as bad. I can't really say about the original part of the concierge because I don't know anything about the rest of the people that book their a la cartes, so I can't talk about that. I don't know. So that said, but again, it's worth it to me because even though the food was nice and consistent for the food and drink, the sad thing about that was this year, unlike last year, the blender was broken this year, and so unfortunately I couldn't have any pina coladas with caramel from Amelia. That was the only downside this year. But otherwise, like I said, more personalized service for breakfast and dinners. That's the biggest thing. Now, when I first arrived at this resort for my second time, I was on my first day, for my first morning for breakfast, and I was looking forward to talking to one of the servers. And it shocked me when I heard what happened to the situation. Now, let me explain. So, like I said, on my first morning, I noticed that Fidel, last year, I met a guy named Fidel. Really nice server, older man, really nice guy. I noticed he wasn't working, and I'm like, what is going on here? And I asked, there's new ladies there, some younger ladies that I met who were serving me, and I asked them, where's Fidel? And they told me Fidel wasn't there anymore. And I said, what? What do you mean? To make a long story short, he passed away. And I'm like, at first, really? He didn't feel well after I left. He didn't feel well around January 2023. And for his birthday, he had taken it off and he never returned. I guess not feeling well. He had liver cancer, is what I was told. And that's why he never felt good. And unfortunately, due to this sad news, and surprisingly, I actually almost cried. I was so sad and devastated. And again, you get to know these people personally, and it was not super personally with him, but he was really good and a nice guy. He was a good worker, and the news just almost devastated me. So, rip Fidel, you are missed, by the way. So, I appreciated knowing you, so I wanted to say that. Now, I want to thank several of the people in the Alegance lounge area. The Alegance servers and bartenders named Annalie, Amelia, Mulan, Cookie, the cooks, new cooks, by the way, Jose Daniel, Ramon, Pedro. Concierge, both of them, Roxy and Jolie. Really good improvements, and I'm happy to see. And I want to give a shout out, though, to Siley in Mike's coffee shop. So I'm glad to see a lot of these, even with a couple things that weren't great. I'm happy to see these few new things, few new changes and improvements. Now, like I said, I know a lot of things are going well. Things are improving slowly. So I have a list here of things that I want to say, of things that have improved since I want to tell you. Now, most food, as well as the new entertainment, with a mix of the old entertainment that they had last year, with Aqua Ballet and the disco being open, as an example. Now, several Alegance concierges instead of just one, struggling to keep up with the demand. The snack bar, Caletta Snack Bar, as well as Mike's Coffee Shop being open. Awesome. The fountain pool fixed and some paint throughout the resort. Good job, guys. I'm glad to see that a little bit. Those are just a few things that I wanted to say with the improvements. Now, as required improvements that still need a lot of work, tiles throughout the Alegance pool area require new tiling due to cracking, no grout, and tiles are coming off the wall edges around the back of the pool area.
One thing I want to show you quickly is there's some issues here that weren't here before that I noticed. There's some cracking there on the edge of the tile at the very bottom, and then all the way around there's edges. Tile is missing here. I don't know what that is. I think that's mold. I think that is mold, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised. That little step is broken. It looks like it's chipped. I swear to God, there was a tile that was missing here the other day. I think they might have it might have been actually right there. Yeah, no, right there, sorry. Where I showed you a moment ago. That was the spot that one of these tiles came off. I think it might have been it might have been this one. Doesn't really matter, but one of these ones were they need to regrout these. But better yet, you see there's cracking in the middle, which it looks like they just kind of put something in between, maybe to keep it from chipping more. But there's missing grout between the tiles. A lot of these tiles are starting to really bad here in this area, which I didn't notice that much last year, because I think in the last year it's gotten worse. Like you can just see all the way through here. And this is just one little area. Now you can see these like cracks and things that they kind of like temporarily, I don't know, they didn't even temporarily anything. Oh, here it is. This is what I remember. Right there, that's where I was missing a tile there.
Edges around the back of the pool area. Major renovations required in guest rooms, like doors are cracked, big gaps on door frames, Plaster is falling off the walls around the air conditioning units, and of course, loose baseboards. And some of them are removed. One thing I didn't say at the very beginning, but I want to mention this here. A lot of times, water and pop are always brought to my room. Again, I don't know if this happens in the other rooms, but my room hasn't been stocked as much as they claim, as it's supposed to be in the upgrade. But I had to ask a couple times to get more water because of the fact that there's no water. And literally we had to grab off the cart on a couple occasions. And I think next coming year, I'm going to make sure if I see those people that have water, I'm going to grab an extra bottle for myself and walk away, because not always they come to my room. I sometimes have to ask for them to stock up, unfortunately. And most days, like I said, I only received water. Pop was a minimum this year, unfortunately, unless I was actually getting it for lunch times, dinner times. I seem to notice this year specifically, unlike last year, that Cuba resorts are having issues getting more pop on a regular basis. So unfortunately, that is a disappointment, but that's Cuba though, unfortunately. Now, the Bellboy and Drivers do a really great job, but they need better and new working transport carts so that clients don't always have to walk.
The golf cart, one of several they have here. The other one is actually pretty... Actually, no, this is the really beat up one. Let me just show you. This one is actually really beat up. You can see, like, look. Very beat up. This, ouch, hit my head here. Oops. Yeah, you gotta realize these are very low. So, I hit my head on that thing, of course, silly me. But this is probably one of their worst one because it's very beat up. So they use the other one that actually has at least 4 seating sections, so, and the front seat. So it's quite a bit better than that one. That's probably their backup garbage one comparatively.
Extremely disappointing to find out when the bellboys had the bellboy during the day, Joel had to walk with the bag cart because the cart had broken down and wasn't fixed for 2 days. Very upsetting and disappointing. Needs to be fixed with new carts. Multiple carts, please. Now, the other ones are the lack of cleaning. Example, dirty toilets, not changing bedding more than once in 3 weeks for myself. And then 1 housekeeper per block is unacceptable for better standards. But even when they did have it, they didn't always have the highest standards, unfortunately. So something has to be improved there. It was either they need, like I said, they need more housekeepers due to the lack of cleaning properly to have quality or better quality cleaning. Either the staff is burnt out, overworked, or the management moves them around or don't care. I don't know. It's one of the others. There was a couple, and I was mentioning this in one of my videos where I said I will mention this. There was a couple that were upgraded to the Alegance side. They had a regular room originally, but due to 3 different rooms they were sent to, and there's always something going on with the rooms. E.g., there was hair on the floor, hair in the bed, blood on the sheets, mold on the headboard, and because of that kind of stuff happening in multiple rooms, 3, as I said, the resort lost some money because now they had to upgrade them, because the housekeeping did a crappy job. Improve it, please. Come on, that's something simple. Simple. Unacceptable. I am aware that the resorts do know, the resort management does know about these issues. So I hope when I come back there in September of 2024 that these have been addressed to some degree, or more improvements have happened. Like, example, renovations are happening more renovations, more continued improvements in the food and the quality of the property. Because I feel like this resort, after the first time, was like a second home to me. And I'm planning on, like I said, coming back in September 2024. I already have it booked, and I'm ready to go again. So that said, I'm going to wrap it up there. So everybody, I appreciate you guys listening to these videos. I hope you guys like these videos. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. And comment on my videos. I appreciate the feedback. And that said, thank you very much. And we will see you in the next videos. Ciao.